and a little bit tight for time, Mark, but take us through what's happening with regard to women now in China.
Once again, ironies abound, gentlemen. China, long known for being overpopulated and having its one-child policy, is now, as the U.S. propaganda belt Voice of America, VOA, is reporting, China is now facing a demographic crisis. Reading a headline, facing demographic crisis, China pushes women back into the home. The implication being that they're being coercive and making women put on the apron by force. Is that true? Hard to say. Very briefly here, Zhang Nifeng works for a Japanese company in Beijing, married 12 years. She and her husband don't want children. So the VOA is talking about a particular couple that's focused on their careers, making money and enjoying life. They enjoy the freedom. They don't want children. Yet, Chinese leader Xi Jinping has in mind for women something different due to the economic consequences of a rapidly declining birth rate. Same thing's happening in Japan. I've been reporting about that, among others. According to statistics from China's National Health Commission, China had 9.56 million live births in 2022, and that's a 10% drop from 2021, setting a record low and ushering in China's first decline in population growth in 61 years. Moving on from there, in 2022, about 6.8 million couples registered for marriage, half of the number in 2013. And the lowest level since official registries began in 1986. Speaking at the 13th National Congress on Chinese Women, October 30, the Chinese leader said China must actively cultivate a new culture of marriage and childbearing. Very conservative sounding, almost Christian sounding, right, by the communists. He said it's necessary to do this to strengthen guidance on young people's views on marriage, childbirth, and family. He believes that needs to be done to promote all this, et cetera, and to look at fertility support policies, improve the quality of population development. So the state is getting at least somewhat involved in wanting to increase the birth rate. And this is, as I note here, a complete reversal of China's long-held one-child policy. I'll let there be a screenshot there for those that want more data. Let's move on, though, to do a little bit of a contrast. Let's go on to the next slide. Beyond this one. Meanwhile, the U.S. population is finally growing again, we're told, but not because Americans are having more kids. Indeed, very much the opposite in the so-called Christian established nation of the U.S., very much the opposite has been happening. And we see now that Roe v. Wade didn't do so much to trim the outright killing of children through the abortion industry. Here we have New York Times reflecting the Guttmacher Institute. To the left, we see around 465,000 abortions were recorded across 50 states and Washington, D.C. in 6 months of 2020. Remember, Roe v. Wade was overturned in June of 2022. And then here we have on the right, around 11,000 abortions were estimated across 36 states and Washington, D.C. in the first 6 months of 2023. So moving on from there.
I'm not sure where that one takes. I think that takes us on to Alex. We're going to have to end there, Mark, actually, if you like, just to give us a very quick summary comment.
But basically what's happening is the U.S. is going the opposite direction of China and decreasing its birth rate to near zero while China is trying to increase it. And the abortion industry is going full tilt with something like a total of 500,000 abortions so far in 2023 alone in the U.S. So.
Okay, Mark, thank you very much for that. We must end the news there. I'm just going to say as a little bit of a summary for our audience, please have a think about what is happening around us and why. We need to think with some depth and detail about what's happening, who's creating it and why are they creating it. We might ask ourselves, are they creating a better world? And for me, it's obvious they're not. So if you want to judge other people, don't lump them together as a group, judge them as individuals by what they say and what they do. That is a good approach to really get to the bottom of the people causing this terrible trouble and violence and killing in the world by their own deeds and their words. We'll leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us, and a huge, huge thank you to all of the people who are supporting UK Column. Thank you so much. We'll leave it there. We will be back for extra in a few minutes, so stay with us if you're a subscriber. We'll end there. Bye-bye.